Long ride, so you better buckle. Man, I'm real tired of being subtle. When I come up, y'all in trouble. Woo.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Anthony X. I'm happy to be back with you guys. We're going to talk about the most underrated animes in this series. So, the show that I want to start off with is a show I just watched, I want to say a month ago. Just finished it. Kuroko's Basketball, man. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Kuroko's Basketball, and that's why it's on the underrated list. This show is a fun show to watch, man. First of all, let me just give a brief synopsis of the show. So this show is about Kuroko. Kuroko goes to high school. He joins like a unknown basketball team, and his only goal is to compete against the generation of miracles, his former middle school teammates. He meets one of his teammates, let me think of this guy's name, because you know how I'm bad with names, but what I do, I bring all the names up before the video so I can know. He meets up with his teammate Taiga from his new school, Seiko High School, or Siren High School, oh my gosh, and where he competes. He goes in a tournament, he goes to the Winter Classic, he goes to all these tournaments, and they end up winning the whole thing. Happy story. Everybody finished. A generation of miracle learned from their errors. It's a really good show. That's not why we're here though. We're going to talk about why it's underrated. Number one, humor. This is a very humorous show. A lot of anime is like they have their humorous moments. This is a very funny show. I laugh sometimes because I played basketball, middle school, high school, so I do I understand the game. It seemed like they were kind of explaining explaining the game for like a novice audience. So the audience who wouldn't understand basketball, they explained that. But if you know the game, then you're just laughing at that. Oh my gosh, a fast break! Like, you know, it's just funny. But this show was amazing, man. Like I love the emotional scenes. Did I almost cry when Serene won the Winter Classic at the end? I almost cried. It was just a pure moment. I really liked it. Kuroko was my boy. Taiga, like he was my boy. Him being like entering that level of the generation of miracles, that was great. I really enjoyed this show, and I think that it doesn't get as much credit. Like this show doesn't get talked about half as much as it should. The thing I want to talk about is Kuroko's style of play. So his style of play is more team oriented. He wants to play as a team. He wants to do everything as a team. And it's crazy because he's not a good basketball player by himself. He depends on stronger basketball players to elevate their level while also elevating the team. That's why the Generation of Miracles, the reason he separated from them is because they became too selfish as basketball players. They wanted to do everything themselves. It all started with Daiko. Like he just completely was like, wow, I'm too good. I'm just too good to be doing this. I'm going off on my own. Like I don't need to practice. I don't need no one really. And the leader of the Generation of Miracles, Akashi, he just decided, yeah, no, you're right. Like we're not helping each other by staying together. And this is when they're in middle school, by the way. We're not helping each other by staying together. Let's all separate. So then when they go to high school, every single player from the Generation of Miracles, they go their own way. I want to rank the Generation of Miracles from strongest to, not weakest because they're all cold basketball players, but I want to go from strongest to, just rank them out. There's 5 Generation of Miracles because, I guess we can say Kuroko is the part of the Generation of Miracle. So we'll say he's 6, right? I'm not going to even give y'all suspense on that. Kuroko is 6. Number 5 from the Generation of Miracles, I'm going to say it's Midorama, because he's a pure shooter, right? He's a pure shooter. He can control the game. If he gets the ball anywhere on the court, he's draining it. I'm talking about if he's under his own basket, he's draining it. Like he's a pure shooter. I compare. We'll talk about comparisons later in this video, but he's number 5 for me. Number 4 is going to be Marasabara. Atsushi. Come on, y'all know what I'm saying? I'm saying Atsushi. The purple hair guy. This guy is come on, like, it's nothing you can do when this player, when he enters his zone, because they thought he didn't have no zone. They thought he didn't have a zone. They thought he was, he don't really care about the game, blah, blah, blah. No, he cares about the game. And when he enters his zone, he's unstoppable because you're not making anything and you're not stopping him. unstoppable basketball player. I love the purple hair dude. I'm calling him at Sushi. Number 3 on the list of Generation of Miracles. So let's go through the rankings. Kuroko is number 6. He's the weakest basketball player. He has no talent, but he passes. You know, he has the phantom shot. I get that. Number 5 was Minorama. Number 4 was Atsushi. Number 3 is going to have to be, oh my gosh, see, I don't know what to put on this one because I'm really stuck between 2 players. They have a very similar game. See, I'm messing it up because when I rank these players, if I rank 3 and I tell y'all I got that similar game, y'all gonna know who 2 is. All right, so 2 and 3, I'll just, man, I'll ruin the suspense because y'all know number 1 is going to be Akashi. The number 1 basketball player is Akashi because he just completely controls the game. If he tells you to do something, you're doing it on the court. You have no willpower against his willpower. His willpower is stronger than your willpower. How are you going to stop him? Akashi is number 1. So now here we go with 2 and 3 because this is going to be, I think, the most controversial part of this list. I'm going to go number 3 is Daiki Amine. Daiki is number 3. And y'all probably thinking like, what the heck? Daiki number 3? He should be number 1 because he became too good. He couldn't even practice. He was just too good. It was just boring for him. The reason I'm putting Kisei over Daiki, and Kisei is number 2, I'll save the suspense. The reason I'm putting Kisei over Daiki is because when he utilizes his perfect copy, and he can copy everybody's from the Generation of Miracles move at one time, he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. No one's stopping him at that point. Man, the only reason Kisei isn't number 1 is because he can't really contain it that long. He can't contain it that long. He burns out really fast from using his perfect copy. In Daiki, he's just good by himself. But at their height, Kisei is over Daiki. Argue with me in the comments. Kisei is over Daiki, and then Akashi is number 1, obviously. Now let's talk about their player comparison, man. So Kuroko, his player comparison can easily be NBA player. I'm talking about NBA player. And I'm talking about from the history of the NBA. I'm going to give you their player comparison. I'm going to say Kuroko. He's like Chris Paul. I'm going to say he's Chris Paul. Perfect point guard, always looking for the open man, passing, doing these crazy. Chris Paul doesn't do crazy passes, but he gets the ball where it needs to be, and that's how Kuroko. If you're open, you're not open that long. Boom, he gives it. If you're open, you got the ball in your hands that fast. Boom, you got the ball. Boom, you got the ball. Boom, you got the ball. Kuroko is, and obviously these are like super powered. Like I would love to see them in NBA because what would they think of LeBron James running to them? They'll be like, what is this man, right? Kuroko is like Chris Paul. For Minorama, that's easy. Steph Curry, like, come on. It's not even, he can shoot anywhere on the court. Greatest shooter. Steph Curry's greatest shooter ever. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Atsushi, I'm going to say this man is, dang, this is a good one. Because you got to think of somebody who was just dominant on each end of the court. So, on his offensive side, man, Atsushi's like Shaq, bro. He's like Shaq. No one's messing with this man. He's like Shaq. He gets the ball. He's going to score. On the defensive side, man, I've only heard about this player, but I'm gonna say Bill Russell. Like he's 2 players. You can't even just say he's 1 player because you always hear how Bill Russell was just this perfect defensive player, blocking all the shots. You hear that? Man, I guess you got to say Atsushi's like a combination of Shaq and Bill Russell, which would be one of the greatest players ever, right? Number for my boy Daiki, he's Michael Jordan, right? Dang, this is gonna be so controversial because I'm saying the second player is better than Michael Jordan. Daiki is Michael Jordan. He has the complete skill set. He's driving, he's shooting, he's doing everything on the court. He's unstoppable. He's a good defensive player. That's like Michael Jordan. Kisei is Kobe Bryant. He's the copy of Michael Jordan, right? Doing the same thing that Michael did, and he can copy his moves to perfection. You can't even tell the difference sometimes because he just perfected that so much, just like Kobe did with Michael Jordan. Kobe, I'm not saying Kobe's better than Michael. Please don't argue with me about that. This is an anime channel, please. But I'm saying that, like, just player comparison, Kisei is on like the level of Kobe with just a perfect copy. Akashi, wow, what do I say about this man? Because I said Kuruko has the perfect point guard skill set, but Akashi has the perfect, like, if Kuruko has the perfect, what's above perfect? He's S-ranked point guard, man. He's S-ranked point guard, the best point guard ever. So you know what? I'm going to take that back. I'm going to say that Kuruko is Jason Kidd. Argue with me. Kuruko is Jason Kidd. I'm going to say Akashi, man. Akashi, oh man, I should have, dang, because think about this. He's the perfect point guard. He controls the tempo of the game on both sides. He gives you offense. He gives you defense. Kuruko doesn't give you defense, so therefore he can't be Jason Kidd. Wow. I'm going to have to change this up between Kuruko because I have to think about a point guard who's a great point guard on the offensive side, but a liability on defense. Steve Nash. Steve Nash. Okay, take it back. Kuruko is Steve Nash. Kuruko is Steve Nash. Minorama is Steph Curry. Atsushi is Shaq on the offensive side. Bill Russell on the defensive side. Daiki is Michael Jordan. Kisei is going to be Kobe Bryant. And I'm going to say Akashi is a version of Magic Johnson, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, and Gary Payton on the defensive side, baby. I know I gave y'all a great list. I know I gave y'all a great list of player comparisons. That's amazing. Akashi is the perfect point guard. That's why he's the best player in this show. Don't argue with me on this, please. And again, this show is super funny. And I'm gonna put one more ranked player on this list. I'm going to have to put Tyga in the Generation of Miracles. Why? Because they said multiple times throughout this show that Tyga is entering the Generation of Miracles hierarchy. If Tyga is entering the Generation of Miracles, who can he be? First of all, I'm going to rank him number 2 after the best point guard ever. That's Akashi. Akashi is the best player. Even though Tyga and Kuruko beat him in the tournament, I'm still going to put Tyga up in the second best player on all the Generation of Miracles. So he's above Kisei. We saw him beat Kisei multiple times. Tyga, who is his player comparison? I'm going to say his player comparison is the greatest basketball player of all time. Dang, I can't put him. I can't say that. I was about to say LeBron James. This is why he can't be LeBron. He doesn't pass. He's not always looking for other people's shot. So LeBron, the reason why LeBron's the perfect basketball player, and I know this is an anime channel, I'm not talking NBA, but LeBron, the reason he's the best basketball player is he gives you offense, passing, rebounding, and scoring. Tyga gives you rebounding, check. Scoring, check. What does that say? Defense, check. But he doesn't give you that point guard skill set. But let's say that develops because Tyga, as we saw throughout the show, he's constantly growing as a basketball player. He's getting better. He's getting stronger. Big dog guns. I say he could be LeBron James. Right now he's not. Right? We'll say he's Zion right now. Right? We'll say he's Zion. He can score. He can rebound. He has defense. But he's not. He didn't enhance his passing yet. He didn't enhance his passing. Once he does, he's going to pass Akashi. He's going to be the greatest basketball player on this show. Tyga, man, we saw the growth. He went to the United States to develop his skill set. Him and his boy, that was a sad storyline, bro. That was a sad arc. But him and his boy, they developed their skill set. And Tyga, I'm going to say he's going to be the greatest player of Generation of Miracles, but where it ended, I'm saying he's not there yet. And let's talk about where it ended, bro. Are you serious? The show ended after the 3rd season and we're not getting some more episodes? What are you saying? What are you saying? Why can't we get more Kuroko's Basketball? Bring it back. I'm like, wow. They can finish high school with the show, go to college with the show. Are they going to go play in the league? I can see, especially where the way the league is going right now. Imagine Minorama in today's NBA. All it is shooting. He'll be the highest paid player in the NBA history. He shoots from anywhere on the court. It doesn't matter where your defense is at. He shoots from anywhere on the court. This show is nice though. I really enjoyed this show. Please bring it back. It's a very underrated show. I'm going to continue this series. I'm going to talk about some more underrated programs, some more underrated anime. I'm going to go through this list, man, because it's a lot of anime that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. Starting with Kuroko's Basketball. I'm an anime guy and I know what I'm talking about. Talk to y'all later.